The Rothschilds, the Waltons, the Rockefellers. Let's talk about them. Imagine this. The world's mightiest fortunes aren't forged by lone wolves or flashy startups, but by bloodlines that whisper secrets across generations, shielding empires from collapse. What if the real power behind billionaires isn't innovation or luck, but a hidden playbook of family maneuvers that outsiders never see? If you're ready to uncover why over 70% of global businesses are family fortresses and the dark hypocrisies they hide, don't blink. This will change how you view wealth forever. Today, we're dissecting the enigma. Why do most billionaire empires cling to family roots? It's not the fairy tale trust and legacy nonsense peddled in glossy magazines. No, dive between the lines and you'll find a calculated fortress of secrecy, manipulation, and long-game strategies that propel these dynasties to dominate. Consider this. In 2025, the 500 largest family businesses alone generate a staggering $8.8 trillion in revenue. That's the world's third largest economy, employing 25 million souls across 44 countries. And family-controlled firms now claim 19% of the Fortune Global 500, up from just 15% 2 decades ago. But why? We're exposing 4 revelations that reveal the hype, the unspoken edges that make family empires unbreakable, yet perilously fragile. Buckle up. This isn't inspiration, it's revelation. Let's start with the veil that keeps these empires invisible. Public companies, they're forced to bare their souls quarterly, vulnerabilities on display for regulators, rivals, and rabid shareholders to exploit. But family businesses, they thrive in the dark, a deliberate design that turns privacy into a superpower. Take the Mars family, guardians of a $146 billion candy colossus that's more fortress than factory. Founded in a humble kitchen in 1911, they've dodged the spotlight for over a century, making secrecy not just policy, but a way of life. Why? Because going public invites chaos, activist investors demanding short-term gains, governments prying into tax havens. Instead, the Mars clan maneuvers billions in assets globally, from pet food to gum, without a whisper. But here's the hidden hypocrisy. This omerta isn't born of humility. It's engineered to evade scrutiny. Family feuds? Buried. Espionage suspicions? Silenced. And estate taxes? They've masterfully sidestepped billions through trusts and private transfers, like avoiding $25 billion in one generational shift alone. Think about it. In a world where data is king, their black box approach lets them pivot undetected, outlasting scandals that topple public giants. Yet this shield breeds isolation, a paranoia that views outsiders as threats, enforcing loyalty through blood oaths that crush dissent. Is it genius or greed? You decide. But it's why 22% of businesses over $100 million in revenue stay family-locked, hoarding power away from the masses. Now, peel back another layer. Succession isn't a handover. It's an engineered evolution that turns blood into a battle-tested machine. But the unspoken crisis? Not every heir is empire material. Demographics are killing dynasties, fewer kids, modern distractions diluting focus. Enter the Rothschilds, stewards of a sprawling financial behemoth that once dominated European banking, with historical wealth estimates peaking at $300 to $400 billion in today's dollars during the 19th century, though divided among descendants today into a collective fortune around $20 billion across branches, per analyses from financial historians and outlets like Newsweek. Meyer Amschel Rothschild didn't just pass the torch. He built a family empire in the late 18th century by sending his 5 sons to establish banking houses across Europe, in Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples, distributing control cleverly. Each son inherited a branch, with strict patriarchal rules ensuring the business remained in male hands, as outlined in his 1812 will that excluded daughters and their heirs from any share in the firm to prevent fragmentation. This minimized dilution of power and centralized control through arranged intermarriages, often between first or second cousins, with 29 out of 58 marriages in the family's early generations being such unions to keep wealth consolidated, according to Jewish Encyclopedia records, turning potential squabbles into structured stewardship. But dig deeper. They invest heavily in next-gen development, grooming heirs through rigorous education, apprenticeships in family banks, and roles that weed out the weak, as seen in the 7th-generation oversight of Rothschild & Co. today, where family members like Nathaniel Philip Rothschild hold board positions after proving their mettle in finance. Underperformers? Sidelined with legacies that look generous but lock them out of real power. Historical branches like the German one closed in 1901 after Wilhelm Rothschild died without male heirs, and modern structures use family governance to sideline those unfit, per Morgan Stanley insights on Rothschild-inspired models. It's not nepotism, it's Darwinism in designer suits. And the hype? This machine adapts, blending family blood with professional hires to combat the heir loss epidemic, as evidenced by Rothschild & Co.'s evolution into a publicly traded entity with non-family executives, while maintaining family control through holdings like Concordia BV, which owns 96% of voting rights. During the Napoleonic Wars, their wealth ballooned dramatically. Nathan Rothschild's savvy bond trades alone multiplied family fortunes amid Europe's chaos, proving the system's resilience, much like their modern wealth management arm's growth during global crises. Yet the dark side lurks. Entitlement morphs into pressure, fracturing psyches. Imagine being born into billions only to be molded or discarded, facing disinheritance for marrying outside the fold or failing to uphold the legacy, as Meyer's will enforced. This isn't legacy, it's a calculated forge that ensures the empire endures, even if individuals break. Beyond walls and heirs, these empires spin webs that ensnare the world. Influence isn't accidental, it's woven through alliances that money alone can't buy. Look at the Koch brothers, architects of a $100 billion chemical kingdom that's as much politics as petroleum. They didn't stop at business, they funneled millions into think tanks, advocacy groups, and campaigns, over $550 million in the 2024 cycle alone through a labyrinth of nonprofits. Philanthropy? It's a disguise. Charles and David personally gave $2.4 billion to causes, but it's strategic, shaping laws on taxes, environment, even education to favor their empire. The hidden hype? Blood ties amplify this. Marriages merge fortunes like royal unions. Internal feuds resolved privately to project unbreakable unity. Public CEOs chase quarterly wins. Families plot decades ahead, embedding agendas via donor-advised funds that shield transactions. Nearly $100 million hidden in 1 year. But the underbelly? This web corrupts democracy, turning wealth into whispers that sway elections. And online, users are buzzing. One recent post exposed how a billionaire's hiking death unraveled a fashion dynasty, revealing greed-fueled power plays that echo this controlled chaos. It's not influence, it's domination, masked as benevolence. Now, let's venture into the shadowed recesses of the billionaire's psyche, the mental machinery that doesn't just sustain empires, but devours souls in the process. What if I told you that jealousy and secrets, those corrosive forces that shatter ordinary families, are the very fuel billionaires harness to forge unbreakable dynasties? Drawing from decades of psychological profiling on the ultra-wealthy, we uncover a chilling pattern, a dark triad of traits: Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and narcissism that runs rampant among the elite, far more than in the rest of us. Machiavellianism? That's the cold calculus of manipulation, bending people and systems like pawns in a grand game. Psychopathy strips away empathy, turning human costs into mere footnotes on a balance sheet. And narcissism? It inflates egos to godlike proportions, breeding entitlement that justifies any ruthlessness. The Rockefellers didn't just inherit this, they perfected it. John D. Rockefeller, shaped by a childhood torn between his con artist father's schemes and his devout mother's iron discipline, cultivated an almost supernatural self-mastery. He outmaneuvered rivals not through brute force, but by weaponizing emotional restraint, as chronicled in biographies that detail his eerie calm amid cutthroat oil wars. His playbook? Instill unshakable trust in a family system that molds heirs into vigilant guardians of wealth, not reckless squanderers. Shun energy vampires, those outsiders who drain focus and dilute vision. Keep conflicts sealed behind closed doors, channeling sibling rivalries into innovative breakthroughs that expand the empire. But hold on, what's the price tag on this mental armor? Isolation creeps in like a thief, breeding paranoia that every alliance hides betrayal. Consistency demands tuning out the world's cries, as Rockefeller did during scandals that reshaped American capitalism, from trust-busting probes to labor strikes crushed under his influence. Dig deeper into the data. Psychological studies of over 1,100 billionaires reveal they score high on resilience traits like low neuroticism, handling stress with machine-like efficiency, yet plummet in agreeableness, shunning harmony for dominance. Self-made titans blame failures inward, fueling relentless adaptation, while old money heirs grapple with succession syndrome, a vortex of anxiety, depression, and addiction that erodes 70% of fortunes by Generation 3. The Rockefeller clan knows this intimately. Whispers of internal feuds, substance struggles, and emotional voids echo through their history, turning vast wealth into a gilded cage. This isn't mere evolution, it's an engineered psychological fortress where loyalty endures generational trauma and humanity pays the ultimate toll. But here's the question that will keep you up at night. If these minds reshape our world, what shadows are they casting on yours? The ultimate expose? 2025 shattered records. 340 new billionaires emerged. But inheritance overtook self-made wealth for the first time. 91 heirs claimed $297.8 billion, a 36% jump. Family empires aren't fading, they're rebounding, hiding in plain sight as the great wealth transfer accelerates. This isn't business, it's bloodline supremacy.
Mind exploded? Hit like if this uncovered truths for you. Subscribe for more elite deep dives. Comment the shadiest dynasty you suspect. Notifications on.